Hey, peace world. Got my Mighty Mo t-shirt on. Hey, it's Wood here. I ain't even gonna lie, and I'm not trying to be over dramatic or like it really matters, but this could be the last boxing update that I do. This could be the last time that I mess around with talking about boxing. Uh, I just I just have zero interest in boxing at the moment. And I know we have some big fights that are planned later on this year, and I may check some of those out. But I mean, some of the ignorant shit that I hear about the Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford fight, I don't even know how y'all keep watching some of these guys. We just at a sad point, and then money wise, I think the zone is kind of has kind of reached a screeching halt. You know, some people that they thought would work out, it ain't really working out. And now, uh, the move is pay-per-view. Now they moving on to pay-per-view, and I've been looking for the last couple of weeks trying to see what's going on with the Usyk and Anthony Joshua rematch. And it seems like that's going to be pay-per-view, but it's not really being stated. I've looked through several of the emails, and I'm looking at what's on YouTube, trying to see if this thing is going to be on the zone or not. But it just seems to be very, it's like not being addressed. How we can actually watch the fight. So I don't know if it's something going on here with whatever was the contractual situation with Sky Sports or whatever. But I'm imagining that to watch that fight is going to be on DAZN pay-per-view. There is no DAZN pay-per-view logo on there. I've read through about 4 or 5 different emails about the fight. It seems like they're intentionally being just very vague about how we're gonna be able to watch the shit. But you know what? I'm really not trying to trash the sport just for the simple, just for wanting to bash it. Like I said, there are some decent fights that I want to watch, but continuing to pay for everything is just, it's become, in the way that we have to pay for it. And the way that business is being done, it's just shitty to me. After last night, I'll probably gone and let my DAZN subscription go. I do think that's dope with the Williams Zepeda and JoJo Diaz fight in early November. I think that's slick. But yeah, I got to move on from DAZN. Showtime and Adrian Broner, honestly, that fight ain't worth hanging around. Showtime's boxing has kind of been, it's just there. Are we, honest question. Are we at a point with American boxing where, they say, or maybe it's even biblical, but where there's no vision, the people perish. And it just seems like there's no vision in American boxing right now. I know we have 90-some-year-old Bob Arum still out there. And ESPN will probably be where I continue on with my boxing, how I follow the sport. Just because it's the most convenient, if not the most affordable. But to me, it's an opportunity being lost, or it's gone on too long. Maybe that's more of a better statement. It's gone on too long for us not to have any credible source speaking on Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. And I'm just tired of listening to these cats who don't know more than you or I, and just who slap a different title on the video every day and say some bullshit. And some of us are willing to accept it as this person is some kind of insider or something when they don't know shit. And then the fact that we have to continue to try to blame somebody, it just baffles me. If the fight was easy to make, it'd be made. If they had all of the pieces and, all of the different parts of the equation together, then the fight would be made. I don't see any reason to tear down Al Heyman. He's probably trying to do the fiscally responsible thing and make sure he's not putting some shit together that he can't pay for. He's probably sitting here looking at two legitimate asks and what these two dudes want for their money. And he's like, shit, I ain't got it. And I may not have it until one of these dudes are a little bit more desperate and willing to compromise in some kind of way. Anyway, let's get on to Vergil Ortiz Jr. I was glad to see the kid back, man. I was really glad to see the kid back in the ring. I don't know, with the exception of having some decent power, some good power, and being aggressive, I don't know if Vergil Ortiz really does anything elite or uniquely special or anything. And I don't say that to knock the young man. I just like his effort. I think he's always hustling. When he's in the ring, he's always hustling. He's always trying to get the stoppage. He fights to beat dudes up. He fights to break dudes down. He fights to knock people out. And so long as he's at this level of competition, and it's not a lethal puncher across from him. It's not a highly skilled, slick boxer type. I mean, he's going to continue moving on the way that he's moving on. I don't have anything to knock the guy. I like Vergil Ortiz's his personality. He's down to earth. McKinson, I just trying to see who the hell he is. I didn't have any real connection to the guy before the fight. Immediately the dude was working on the back foot and was basically trying to do some finesse boxing to compete. I wouldn't say he was exactly trying to survive from the very beginning, but he was trying to find a way to compete until he ran out of that or ran out of ideas there. And then, he didn't have any firepower to return, only having 2 career knockouts. It was kind of a futile situation for the guy. We get into the 8th round. He gets knocked down by the body shot. I think it might have been a left hook to the body. He comes right back early in the 9th, took another body shot, and then he was limping or something. He was on the move the entire time. I couldn't say a whole lot about Mackinson. But shout out to Vergil Ortiz Jr. for moving to 19-0 with 19 stopouts. Good post-fight interview. I think he addressed the situation well. He knows he doesn't have the power to call any shots. It's not another move. It's like not another vertical move immediately available to him. Like he said, the man is tied up. What the hell y'all want me to say? And that's how boxing has a lot of these dudes. They can't say shit. Like, it is what it is. All of this shit is what it is. Until the business above you gets worked out, you can't move up. And, you know, we complain about these mid fights getting made, these blah fights getting made. I feel like everybody is trying the best that they can try. Like I said, with my Mighty Mo Hooker shirt on, it was rough watching that last night. I don't really know what was going on with Mo. Coming into the fight, man, I thought that was like a 3 to 5 round situation for Mo Hooker against Blair Cobb. Shout out to Blair Cobb for getting with what was that, Fernando Vargas's half brother, walking away from the from the Hall of Famer Freddie Roach, and very early on, just being a big problem for Mo, for Maurice Hooker. I don't know what was going on. Like Sergio Moore said very early, something was wrong and off with Mo Hooker's body language. I hate to see a fighter in there that early in a fight with a lot of time a lot of time left. He's not moving like we normally see him move. And then I'm getting concerned. You know, I'm shifting to immediately being concerned about whatever was going on with why this man couldn't make weight. This shit, like, it's details like this in boxing that just confuse the shit out of me and make me wonder what the hell is going on as a sport. The dude is coming back from this hand injury. He's off more than a year or whatever. You come back against a perfect opponent for you to the whole winner go home situation, and you have a favorable matchup and have all the tail of the tape, you're a former world champion, and then your head doesn't seem to be in this shit. And you want to make a statement about the Stacy lady who passed away and everything that she meant, but then as soon as Blair Cobb caught his ass, he was ready to go until maybe the 6th or 7th round. He didn't really have a way to kind of recollect himself or regain his composure or whatever. He was just in there moving weird as shit. That long ass arm span or arm reach wasn't doing him any good. Not jabbing right. Inaccurate as hell. And just unable to look like a professional boxer, somebody that once held a damn title. Shout out to Blair Cobb for figuring it out, for finding a way. He was using Maurice Hooker's length against him. He was bending his knees and getting down and coming up over the top and coming in from weird angles and whatnot, and he was going for it, and he was catching him. He was beating him to the punch. He was doing a little bit of everything. And then he showed some grit, after the headbutt opened up the big cut on the left side of his head. Then the second headbutt. Then a round or two where Maurice Hooker tried to do a little something. He withstood that and just never crumbled. And I thought for sure, if he could have got touched 1 or 2 good times, that maybe he would have acted or reacted differently and left some kind of opening for Maurice Hooker. But it just never happened. And again, man, I keep saying this. Bomac does well. Bomac does well with Terrence Crawford, but a lot of these, what's good, D-Lo? But a lot of these trainers right now, why is there no success with the other guys, like the guys below your superstar? What am I paying Bomac for? One, the dude is damn near too big to even climb up on the ring in between rounds. In the minute that they get, he damn near can't even get in and out of the ring. But why the hell am I paying you and Terrence Crawford is doing all of the instructions? And Bomac makes no, he did well with it. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but when the bad fight that Herring had before the fight against the Irish cat, or what's my man Frampton, when he had the little Puerto Rican dude, I think Bomac really didn't get Jamel Herring through that moment, in my opinion. True, going over there was a significant improvement and a nice change of direction for Jamel Herring, but was that just a function of being in the culture of the B&B, whatever that, their whole gym? I agree. And I'm gonna have to check you out, man. I haven't even really been on YouTube lately. I'm just on here, I'm waiting on some shit and just talking on last night's card. But I'm just saying, the way that it went, obviously Jamel Herring had a good performance against Carl Frampton, but Frampton was kind of at the end of it. Let's be honest. But like I said, overall, I'd agree with you, D-Lo. Overall, net positive with Jamel Herring. I don't know what the hell happened with my man, the super middleweight that they had, Steve something. I guess he just said the hell with it, but he was out. He's out. And then the way that it ended, where he just parted ways with Jamel Herring, just out the blue, it's over. I don't know what that was about, but I don't know. Bad night for Mo Hooker. Maybe there's a chance for him to get a rematch. Maybe. Because there's really no, it ain't like they can just put Blair Cobb in there with everybody or anybody. That's a good win for Blair Cobb, but let's be honest, man. Blair Cobb is pretty damn limited. But you know what? I can't knock Blair Cobb, man. It looked like he really, I don't use the term exposed all that often, but it looked like the Alexis Rojas fight really was like the act is over. That woo shit, that Ric Flair shit, and doing all that shit is over with. Like, it got real for him real quick. And like I said, he came in last night and got a win that he really wasn't the favorite in. So I can't take nothing away from Blair Cobb, but I just don't know that he's all that talented of a boxer. But like I said, man, he went for it last night. I'll give it to him. He had some suddenness to him that I didn't think he had. I thought he waited way too much when he was with the fights that he was under Freddie Roach. I thought he waited a lot. Last night, he made some things happen. He forced the issue at different points. But and then he tried to wait out the rest of the fight, the last 4 or 5 rounds. I don't really like that type of shit, but I ain't gonna, I can't get mad at a guy for winning a fight when you have 3 knockdowns in the first 2 or 3 rounds. I can't get mad at the reasoning. But rough night for Mo Hooker. Real quickly on Marlena Esparza against the Eva, the co-main event on there. Esparza can box, and she's very accomplished in women's boxing, but she don't have no power. Everything is gonna go to a decision. She tries to be entertaining and tries to do a whole lot. I just don't know if it just seems to be a ceiling with her. And maybe without the fight against Estrada, the rematch against Estrada, can she do anything above and beyond? I don't know. And we know Estrada is over with Top Rank now. So I don't know. She gets the victory and whatever, but okay. What was the other? Oh, my man, the youngster, Floyd Schofield. who took out the Guerrero dude. Good story. Only 19 years old. Gets the stoppage. I think he's 11-0 with maybe 10 knockouts or whatever. I want to see more of him. But again, man, where we are, and I know it's summertime, at the end of summer. Boxing isn't really historically isn't a big time summer sport. But I don't know, man. We just in a lull, and I don't know, man. Like I said, I can't continue to keep paying for Showtime boxing. I mean, for Showtime for what? I mean, I don't. What are they doing to the end of the year? I mean, I'm not trying to pay $12. This Figueroa fight with Broner, that shit don't do nothing for me. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm just hanging around to watch this brother have some kind of breakdown or some shit. You know, when shit doesn't go his way. I can't really say that fight is gonna be all that exciting or entertaining. I mean, it might be a decent level of skill on display, maybe, but by the end of the night, hey, by the end of the night, I'm parting ways with Showtime and DAZN, to be honest with you. I don't know what else to do, man. You know, that if these people don't start working together and making some good fights and thinking outside of the box and delivering, shit is just boring. Shit is just real boring. I haven't felt this. Hey, come here. I haven't felt this way in the last 5 to 6 years, and I felt like, but I feel like there was, I can't remember if it was 2018, 2019, or maybe even 2017. But I mean, boxing had some hell of a years, man. I mean, it did. But where we are right now, the state of things, where some different fighters are in their careers and whatnot, shit is just dead. We got several divisions where there's really nobody there of interest. There's no really interesting storylines and anything. At welterweight, we got these youngsters in Vergil Ortiz, and that's what fucks me up. To sit here and shift away from Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford, and now run with this shit about Vergil Ortiz ducking a Jaron Ennis, or why can't we get? That ain't fair to me. That's a bullshit argument to me. I mean, why on earth would those dudes fight each other right now? I mean, some of the people that run out here with some of these matchups and some of these expectations, like, how realistic is that shit? I mean, maybe you can be so, maybe you just want what you want, or you impatient, or whatever you want, but why would Vergil Ortiz Jr. and Jaron Ennis face each other right now? For what? I mean, you got two guys that could legitimately become world champions. Neither one of them have had a chance to fight for a title at this point. Why the fuck would they sit here and face each other right now? I mean, in the big scheme of things, what sense does that make? And you may not like it, but what sense does that make? Let alone the fact that there's Vergil Ortiz is where he is. Jaron Ennis is somewhat like PBC adjacent or something. But why would they fight right now? And that's what I'm saying. Their career is on. They're in a holding pattern basically because of the dudes in the division with them that continue to just sit here and just saber rattle because we can't get this one fight. And of course, the sanctioning bodies aren't gonna sit here and come. Although last night I guess was a mandatory for what, WBA or some shit. So I don't know, man. This boxing is just is in a weird spot, and I think I'm just gonna fall back and check back in when the shit come. And I know it's a couple of youngsters out there, man, that I'm interested in seeing what they do next. Seeing some talks of Deontay Wilder coming back, getting back in the mix is a good thing. I like to see what he brings to the table, and I don't know if it's Hellenius or they go in another direction, but that's a good development. But I don't know, man. Boxing is just, it's hard to get excited about the shit. Who knows when you get a fight that you really want to see? So anyway, I thought it was a good night for Ortiz, man. I think he's a very down-to-earth guy. I think he's really likable. Talented kid, always hustling, always trying to punish his opponent, always trying to get the stoppage. We'll see what happens. Hey, let me get on out of here, man. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'm out. Bite down boxing. Don't let them count you out. Pay me no mind. Sports and entertainment. You have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.